the desire in your heart to move forward in your life, but you feel like you keep getting tripped up. I am going to show you 3 tricky thoughts, emotions, and beliefs that are causing you to stall out. I want to call them out so that you can recognize them in yourself and you can move forward in your life. But before we start that, hey, my name is Kate Wood. I am a Christian life coach. I'm a health coach, emotional intelligence coach, personal trainer. I'm a lot of different things. Probably more importantly, I'm a mom of 5. I have 2 crazy dogs. I love my life. And I love to help women to level up, to live out their purpose, to live full out. That is my passion and my joy to it. I've been seeing these a lot lately, and I feel like the Holy Spirit's been like, Kate, you got to call these out because it is so common in women. I know I have felt it sometimes. I observe it in other people. And so I want to share it with you so that they don't trip you up. Here's something I see. Someone is telling me something they want to change in their life, and it starts to get emotional. This is sometimes even just in casual conversation, not even in coaching. And then all of a sudden, before we can even kind of get into it, they quickly start talking about their neighbor who has diabetes and whose dog just died. And I am not trying to make fun of diabetes or pets dying, but it is a very bizarre switch. I dare you to watch other people do this because it is fascinating. From like, oh my gosh, I have this huge problem in my life. You can tell they're on the verge of wanting to start to solve it or take some action. And then they like shrink back and totally switch directions to their neighbor who has it worse than them. I don't believe in comparing yourself to other people. I know a lot of other people are like, well, you'll feel better about your life if you think about someone who has it worse. I don't love that. I don't love that as a standard. I think it can be a very big cop-out, shrinking back from what you want, failing to deal with the emotions of it. You're like, oh man, I'm starting to feel upset. So I'm going to switch to someone else who should be more upset than me, right? It really can hold us back. A lot of women are taught it's not okay to focus on yourself. And I think it is. We don't want to be obsessed with ourselves, but when it comes to leveling up, solving problems in our lives, making shifts, yeah, you're going to have to focus on yourself at least a little bit in order to overcome those old thoughts that are getting in your way, to maybe switch your emotions so that they're working for you, to strengthen your faith in God. It's going to take some focus and some like being with yourself and the problem, which a lot of people are not comfortable with. They would rather grab their phone and scroll. I get it, but it doesn't get you where you want to go, right? And so they don't want to focus on themselves. They're thinking, who am I to improve my health when so-and-so's dog just died? We can work on both at the same time. You could go comfort your neighbor and we could work on your health, right? It's not an either or, but that's what our brains like to do. I'm going to focus on this other problem because I just kind of got scared. I might have to change. Our brains don't like changing. And so we have to often bring a coach or other people on board to help us overcome how our brain wants to limit us. And it's much easier than what you think, okay? But sometimes it does take a person that's outside your brain to see what your brain is doing. And that's what I do as a coach. A lot of times if we're like, oh, I'm feeling this way about my neighbor's dog, we call it empathy. But really it's more about us than it is about them. It's about our own fear. And so it can almost become an ego thing. And I'm not trying to go too deep here, but it's a really sneaky way. And usually it's not really about the other person or feeling bad about them. It's about shielding ourselves from our own emotions and feeling like we have the right to change or do something different. I hope that makes sense. Yeah. And it leads to not taking action. It's just a big old distraction. It's the same as scrolling on your phone. It just looks nicer. Oh, I'm so concerned about so-and-so. Her car isn't working. Pray for them. Do what you can. You can still deal with your own stuff, sister. I'm so overwhelmed. I call myself the overwhelm coach because I hear it so much. And I've been overwhelmed in my life for sure. But man, this can be kind of a coverall for this. This seems like a lot. I'm not quite sure where to start. I'm not sure I can even do it. So I'm just going to stop because it's too big. Usually when people play the overwhelm card, unless they have a coach or a supportive community to call them on it, they're just going to be like, I can't do it. It almost always leads to inactivity or like very scattered action that doesn't get you where you want to go. I've seen it time and time and time again. And overwhelm is something you absolutely can overcome. I believe it is a mindset. It is not reality. Even if you have some bonkers circumstances, and I have clients and friends who have bonkers circumstances, it doesn't have to go hand in hand with overwhelm. And I just want you to be careful of using overwhelm as an excuse to not go for it. Fair? Yeah. And that overwhelm, it can become a victim mentality. It's too much for me. I can't. That ain't too much for you. The Holy Spirit lives in you. Let's brainstorm this. Let's figure out your next small step. Let's figure out what emotions that you need to be feeling in your body in order to move forward. Let's pull out some of the beliefs that are holding you back. I don't let my clients play the overwhelm card. They can play it, but I'm going to be like, let's take that off the table and do something different here, because I want you to get the results that you say that you want, right? So be careful when you say overwhelm, okay? Maybe say, I'm not sure of my next step yet, or something along those lines. That is much more helpful. It's much more empowered than just like, I'm overwhelmed. Here's the last one. People jump into lack, and I do it too. I get it. I don't have fill in the blank. I don't have time, money, support, energy, talent, skills, the know-how, the fortitude, the stick-with-itness. I don't have that. Could we get it? Like, do you seriously not have it? A lot of times, I don't have the time. Again, kind of a blanket excuse. If it mattered to you, you'd make time. I know this because I have taken crazy schedules and I've made time for things that mattered to me. People thought I was crazy. You make the time for the stuff you really want to do. You know you do, right? If you really want to watch that football game tonight, you're going to find a way to do it. And if you want to level up in your life and pursue a degree, pursue an uncluttered home, pursue better relationships, you can find the time to do it. I'm calling you on it. We can find the time. I can help you, okay? So I dare you to challenge the thought, do I really lack that? And I know you're going to want to be like, well, yes, of course. Because maybe you've used that excuse for a long time. As a coach, I would absolutely challenge you on that, okay? What do you have already? Look for it. Ask God for it. Say, God, if I already have this, will you show it to me? I was going to start to declutter. And I was like, I just don't know which plan. And then I started decluttering a drawer. And you know what I found? A binder with like 4 different decluttering systems in it. I can be a little bit of a hoarder with like classes and courses. 4 of them. I had everything I needed to do this years ago, except for the mindset, the emotion behind it. I didn't have the belief, and I didn't have the why, and I didn't value it enough. But I had 4 at my fingertips. Any one of them would have worked. I just had to pick it and start. You can see it's usually not the strategy, and it's usually not lack. It is this stuff. It is this stuff, right? It is our belief. And so see if you really lack it. And if you truly lack it, start praying for it. Start asking God, will you show me some opportunities? Could you bring the people and the resources my way that I need? I believe He is faithful to do it if it is His plan for you. It's already done. You just need to open your eyes and start asking. It's good and great to go out and seek what you need. If you need more information, go get it. If you need more time, start to look for it and grab it. Be like, you know what? This thing in my life that I used to love and used to like bring so much joy to me and my family is a huge drain now. You know what? I'm going to cut it in favor of this other thing. You may need to prune some things out of your life. And it's okay. Make room for the good stuff. Make room for the best stuff and stop settling, okay? So I didn't want you to get tripped up by these cop-out thoughts, right? Oh, so-and-so, someone has it worse than me. I'm overwhelmed. Women tell me this all the time. We can come out of that. That does not have to be your truth whatsoever, I promise. And then I don't have XYZ, ABC in the kitchen sink. I bet you got more than what you think you do. If you need help figuring out what you got and what you don't got, bring a coach on board. Absolutely. I believe in you. I believe in your dreams. I don't want your beliefs or your excuses to trip you up anymore. If this content is helpful to you, please go ahead and subscribe. I also put out a free weekly newsletter because we need all the encouragement we can get. So go ahead and sign up for that. I also have a community of women called the Mighty Hearted Community. We meet online, and it is an amazing group of women who are ready to move forward in their lives, who are making progress, who love praying for you, who believe in your dreams as much as you do, if not more. And we need more of those people in our lives. I don't want you to feel like the weirdo who is making changes and leveling up by yourself, because you're not. But sometimes it takes bringing together a group of women in order to get that boost that we need. So come and join us. We would love to have you. Thanks for dropping in today, and I'll see you soon.